Would you ever sell your only pair of shoes just to buy a book? Most people would laugh. They'd call it foolish, useless, crazy. But when a 14-year-old boy did it, what happened next shocked not just his family, not just his village, but the entire world. His name was Noah. He was born in a forgotten village, where the sun scorched the earth until the soil cracked like broken glass. Children didn't play with toys. They carried water buckets heavier than their bodies. School was a dream only the rich could afford. For Noah, every day was about survival. His father worked the fields with blistered hands. His mother washed clothes until her skin peeled. Their small house had no electricity, no comfort. And yet, Noah carried inside him something no one could take away. Hunger. Not hunger for food, though he often went to bed starving, but hunger for knowledge. One afternoon, walking barefoot on the dusty road, Noah stopped outside a small shop. In the window, he saw it, an old, second-hand book. The cover was torn, the pages yellowed, but to Noah, it glowed brighter than gold. He pressed his hand against the glass, whispering to himself, "If I could read this, maybe I could change my life." The price? Just a few dollars. For most people, nothing. For Noah's family, impossible. That night, he sat quietly, staring at his only pair of shoes. The same shoes his father had sacrificed months of wages to buy. He thought of the laughter at school, when his classmates teased him for being poor. He thought of the pain of walking barefoot on burning roads. Then, he thought of the book. And he made a choice. The next morning, Noah carried his shoes to the market. He placed them on a stall, ignoring the stares. A man offered him a few coins. Noah accepted, even as his heart pounded. He walked home barefoot, dust clinging to his feet. But in his hands, he held the book that would change everything. When his father saw him barefoot, his voice trembled. "Noah, where are your shoes?" The boy lowered his eyes, lifted the book, and said softly, "Father, I sold them. I bought this instead." The silence in that small house was heavy. His father's hands shook with anger, disappointment, confusion. But Noah didn't explain. He simply opened the book and began to read. Days turned into weeks, nights into months. Under the faint light of a candle, Noah devoured every page. He read about warriors who refused to give up, about leaders who carried nations on their shoulders, about inventors who failed 1,000 times but still rose again. When his friends slept, he studied. When others wasted time, he dreamed. But not everyone admired him. Neighbors laughed. "Shoes protect your feet," they mocked. "What will a book protect you from?" His classmates pointed. "Look at him, barefoot, like a beggar." Noah didn't answer. He just kept reading. One evening, as the candle burned low, his father asked again, "Son, was it worth it? Was it worth losing your shoes for this?" Noah smiled, his eyes glowing with determination. "Yes, Father. Shoes would have carried me a few miles, but this book will carry me across the world." And he was right. Years passed. Noah grew, not just in age, but in wisdom. He walked miles barefoot to borrow more books from distant towns. He copied entire chapters by hand because he couldn't afford another. He taught himself, page by page, word by word. Teachers began to notice. This boy, who had nothing, spoke with the depth of a man who had lived 100 lives. Then came the day of his first speech. He was just 18, nervous, barefoot, still. He stood in front of a small group of villagers, holding torn notes in his shaking hands. At first, people laughed, but then silence fell. His voice carried a fire no one could ignore. He spoke about hope, about struggle, about sacrifice. And when he finished, the crowd was in tears. From that moment, everything changed. Noah's words traveled, first through villages, then towns, then cities. Newspapers began to write about him. The barefoot boy with a book. Schools invited him. Leaders listened to him. Strangers who once mocked him now traveled miles just to hear him speak. When he finally published his writings, they sold across the nation. His poems turned into songs. His speeches inspired movements. The same boy, who once sold his shoes for a single book, now gave books to thousands of children who had never touched one. He built schools where there had only been dust. He gave hope where there had only been silence. And when the world asked him, "Noah, what made you who you are?" his answer left them stunned. One book, one sacrifice, one moment when I chose knowledge over comfort. He wasn't a millionaire. He wasn't a billionaire. He was something greater, a giant made from struggle, a voice born from sacrifice, a man remembered not for what he owned, but for what he gave. So if you feel life is unfair, if you feel rejected, poor, forgotten, remember Noah. Remember the boy who gave up comfort for wisdom, because comfort protects you for a day. Struggle builds you for a lifetime. Your pain is not your enemy. Your sacrifice is not wasted. Your storm is not here to destroy you. It's here to prepare you. Every sleepless night, every failure, every rejection, it's shaping your roots deeper, your trunk stronger, your spirit unshakable. One day, the world will not remember your shoes. It will remember your strength. It will remember how you stood when others fell. It will remember that you were unshakable. Noah sold his shoes, but he bought his destiny, and so can you. Noah looks into the crowd, thousands standing, eyes fixed on him. He raises his hand, his voice trembling but powerful. Listen to me. The world will try to convince you that comfort is success, that safety is the goal, that an easy life is a good life. But hear me now, comfort is a prison. Safety is a chain. If you never step into the storm, you will never grow strong enough to touch the sky. I was the boy who sold his shoes. People laughed at me. People mocked me. They said I was foolish, crazy, finished before I even began. But what they didn't understand is this. Pain is not your punishment. It is your preparation. Struggle is not your enemy. It is your engine. So when life knocks you down, don't cry, rise. When the world rejects you, don't beg, build. When the storm hits, don't run, stand, and let it make you stronger. Because one day, the very things that broke you will become the things that built you. One day, people will look at your scars and call them proof of your strength. One day, your story will not just be about survival, it will be about victory. He pauses. The crowd is silent. He takes a deep breath. Giants are not born. They are made. Made in the fire. Made in the storm. Made in the nights when no one believes in you but yourself. So I ask you today, what are you willing to sacrifice? What shoes will you give up? What comfort will you leave behind to chase the destiny waiting for you? Because the truth is this, you already have the power. The question is, will you dare to use it? The crowd erupts, but Noah smiles humbly, steps back, and whispers to himself, I sold my shoes, but I gained the world.